I wanted to start off by saying I did vote for Donald Trump. We are possibly going to lose our farm if NRCS doesn't hold up their contract with us on the EQIP program. So the reason that they're not able to hold up the contract is our EQIP program, which is cost sharing on fences, waters, a well, and some seedings, was funded by the Inflation Reduction Act. Because of the executive orders, there's a pause or a freeze on the funding through the Inflation Reduction Act, and they're not able to pay out on the stuff that we completed or anything going forward. I'm not the only one this is affecting. So there are other farmers in the comments saying that they're in the same boat that I'm in because they signed these contracts, and the contracts, even like, so whenever I looked into the contract, I made sure that that funding was set aside. It wasn't funding that, oh, we hope it's there whenever it's done. I made sure that that funding was set aside so that way before I made these business decisions, I knew that funding was there per contract. So they're backing out on the contract because they don't have the funding. They can't release the funds.
Look around and find out. Here it comes. Watch this, and then we'll discuss.
I need your help to save my farm and many other farms. I wanted to give you guys
Okay. This Jethro is experiencing the ultimate MAGA FAFO moment. I don't know if you've seen his videos, but he's posted a couple of videos where he's basically come on here and he said, I voted for Trump because, well, in a nutshell, because he loves Trump's hate agenda. He doesn't like the fact that immigrants are coming here and taking money from the government. Taking money from the government is evil. You should pull up your own bootstraps and work. So in the next sentence, he comes out and he says, I voted for Trump, and Trump took away my government subsidy that helped my farm stay in business. So send me money. Trump took away the government subsidy that Biden put in place that kept me in business. Now that Trump took it away, I need your help. Send me money. So my question to you is, do we send this Jethro money? I mean, he is now getting the bill for his hate agenda. His hate agenda comes with a price. He didn't know it. Maybe he didn't realize it. Maybe he thought it would never bounce back on him. But now that it's affecting him personally, he's asking for us to give him money. Now, my answer to this, I don't know what your answer is going to be, whether you want to give him money or not. But my answer is, from me, you get fucko. Because if I were to give you money, Jethro, that would make me woke. And you hate woke. You hate the woke left because they show kindness, compassion, and consideration for other people. And that's just too woke for you. So I'm going to live by your standard, and I'm not going to be woke, which means I'm not going to give you one red fucking cent, because that's what I feel you fucking deserve. What about the rest of you? What say you? Do you give them money?
What's up, America? It's your boy Mr. T here, and I'm coming back with another interesting episode. Today we're going to be talking about farmers in America who voted against their own interests, and now they are freaking out because the man they voted for is coming up with policies that are against their own interests. So I've put together a bunch of videos for you guys. You're going to be watching them, and then I'll come back at the end and give you more commentaries. As you're watching, make sure you drop your own opinions down there in the comment section, and those viewers who have not yet subscribed, please make sure you smash on the subscribe button and give this video a like so that we get to more other viewers who are interested. Let's get right into the video.
Which is a real kick in the shorts.
Aaron Pape is a farmer from Peshtigo in northeastern Wisconsin. He recently got a disturbing message from the federal government.
They replied back that they owed me about $30,000, but then there was some very disconcerting language. We're unable to pay on this contract at this time and don't know when funds will be made available because it was contracted as part of the Inflation Reduction Act. Any further practice implementation is at my own discretion.
The message came from the Natural Resources Conservation Service about the reimbursement contract they have with the Pape family farm.
$30,000 might not be a a lot of money to some people, but it's a lot to me. It's a lot to my business, and I need that money to operate. I was counting on that money to be able to operate my farm this year. If I don't get paid that 30 grand, I got to go borrow that money.
The reimbursement contract was going to help the Papes pay for seed, a watering system, and fence.
And in return, we're taking worn out cropland that's been highly eroded, causing water quality impacts, and we're putting in a permanent perennial grass. I think it's a win-win program.
Pape says the freeze is adding more economic uncertainty for farmers also being hit with the end of USAID, which will cost farmers hundreds of millions of dollars in income. Plus, farmers could bear the brunt of retaliation from tariffs affecting fertilizer pricing and availability right away, all rippling through the rest of the rural economy.
The federal government is just being hit with a sledgehammer right now, and programs are just being smashed and departments being closed, at the drop of a hat. It's way too chaotic. It's making it very difficult to react to.
Pape says he expected elected leaders to make well-thought-out decisions that are in the best interests of the people.
I'm a pretty conservative guy, a longstanding Christian, and have very conservative moral, and social values, you could say. But at the end of the day, I understand that competency in government is a good thing.
So over 70% of all soybean that is produced in the United States of America actually goes to China, and China has just banned all soybean imports into China from the United States.
Of 75% of farm workers in California alone, did not show up to work today. A lot of these are undocumented workers. But there's also a percentage of them that are not showing up to their shift in solidarity. California produces and exports the largest amount of citrus fruits: strawberries, grapefruit, oranges, lemons, limes. You have grapes, you have artichokes. I see a lot of people on this app saying, I'm having trouble finding a job and there's no jobs out there. But now there's going to be plenty of jobs. What I want to know is, what did Donald Trump think was going to happen? It is not just farms. These folks are roofers. They work on our roadways. They work in construction and drywall and paving. They do a little bit of everything. Be prepared for your fruits and your vegetables to drastically increase in price. We're all in the find out phase. Now, even though I didn't fuck around, me and all of my friends that voted blue, we're in the find out phase as well, even though we didn't want to find out. We didn't fuck around, therefore we shouldn't be finding out. Seeing a lot of people that live in Mexico that are saying, don't come here. Don't drink our tequila. Don't eat our tacos. Don't buy our food. Don't come to our beaches, our beautiful beaches and resorts. Who is going to be signing up to do these jobs? Because these jobs have to get done, right? Or you're going to have fields and fields of fruits and vegetables that are going to die. They're going to go bad. Then we can't bring them to the grocery stores. Who's going to do this? Who's going to sign up to do this? Because now you wanted them all to leave, and now they're leaving. So now what?
In 2011, North Carolina needed 6,500 farm workers. Only 268 legal Americans applied. 245 were hired, but only 163 showed up to the first day. Worse, only 7 lasted till the end of the growing season. Migrant workers aren't taking your jobs. They're doing the jobs you would never do. And while they're doing that, they're paying taxes into Social Security, which they will never get back. And you want to deport them all. Have fun working on the farm.
Does anybody care about Nebraska? That's the question that's going around TikTok right now, and to that, I respond with 2 questions. Did Nebraska care about anybody else? And does Nebraska care about Nebraska? Because, you see, God helps those who help themselves. And when you Nebraskans walked into the voting booth and overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump to be president, and now you're feeling the effects of that, this isn't I told you so. This is an FAFO. And I know there are Nebraskans out there that voted for Kamala Harris and did not fall into the trap of Donald Trump. Unfortunately, there were not enough of you. And now the rumors, and I'm having a hard time substantiating some of this, but the vibe that's going around is that Nebraska basically looks to be bankrupt in about 6 months because of the undocumented migrants that are being deported, or just the fact that undocumented migrants make up a large portion of their state and workforce on the farms, and they're not showing up to work because they're now afraid they're going to be deported. So Nebraskans, especially farmers in Nebraska, did you think any further than the front of your face? Did you think any further, or were you just blinded by hate? And now people are coming out here asking, what about Nebraska? Do you guys care about Nebraska? No, I've already answered it, but the short answer is no. No, we don't. We don't care about Indiana, where I'm from. We don't care about Kentucky losing their bourbon up in Canada. We don't care about Jack Daniels in Tennessee. We don't care about the auto industry in Michigan. Are we all going to feel this? Yes, it's going to hurt. The disruptions in the food supply from Nebraskan farmers is going to hurt everybody. We are not immune, but we can't care. We can't care. We have no more sympathy to give. You guys had a chance. We spent our time telling you, talking to you, talking at you because you wouldn't listen. You decided to vote for Donald Trump, and here he is undoing your entire workforce. And when you lose your family farm of 150 years to a private company who's going to buy up all the land when you guys can't pay your bills, that's the state of America we're going to be in, because you decided to vote for hate over the rest of the country and your own good. You cut off your nose to spite your face. So Nebraska, we don't care. God helps those who help themselves, and you decided you didn't want help.
Hey, Nebraska, do you need a tissue for your issues? Hey, Nebraska, save the drama for your mama.
Are pissed. Bigly. Nebraskans are pissed. Bigly. The Askins are pissed. Nebraskans. No one wants to hear Farmer John with his butt crack showing, married to a Karen, complaining about losing your little farm when you voted for me. They don't feel sorry for you, and I don't need your votes anymore, so I don't care. Bigly. Nebraskans, what did you think was going to happen? If all your workers were Mexicans and we got rid of all the Mexicans, who's going to be your workers? Guess what? You can take a page from the book of the Native Americans, followed by the African Americans, Chinese Americans, Indian Americans. Listen, what we're going to do is crash the economy so all the rich people can buy up everything for super dirt cheap, including your land, Nebraska farmer dude. I don't know. And once we buy it for dirt cheap, we will hire you to work on said land. Hello, this is a tale as old as time. We've done it so many times before. And the fact that you thought you were exempt is absolutely hilarious. Bigly, it's funny because you guys are really effing around and finding out. Decided to put a little pause on the tariff situation. Canada had a problem and we came in and helped them solve it. They had a problem that there were tariffs that they could not pay. And I said, I will be your savior. I will take the tariffs away. You're welcome. Thank you. Nebraska, I've actually sold Nebraska to Vladimir Putin. And we know I like to say Putin. That's my friend. In exchange for 2 new mail-order brides that should be here by Thursday. One of them's gonna come with me into my forever cryo chamber where I will live in infamy and be the president of the United States for the rest of existence and time. Bigly, we're doing very well with Russia. Russia's really enjoying us and we're really enjoying Russia, and they're bombing the hell out of Ukraine right now. And I don't like the Ukraine guy because that guy is tan and he's kind of sexy. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't like that about him. Vladimir Putin is much more pale. He makes me look shiny and orange. And that's the kind of leadership that I really look up to. Bigly, I do. We're having a good time. Everyone's having a good time this pregnancy, and you guys keep trying to come and interfere with your world news and your disasters. We like a good disaster. It's good for the millionaires and billionaires because we can buy up everything dirt cheap, including labor, including you. We need a workforce. Too many of you farmers want to own your own land with government subsidies. Not anymore. Not anymore, not anymore. You got what you voted for. Bigly, bigly, you got what you voted for.
So guys, as we've been watching, those farmers voted for the orange man, not knowing that some of the policies he would come up with would also affect them. So they thought this president is gonna get rid of those illegal aliens, those immigrants, deport them to their countries. But they forgot one thing. They forgot that those immigrants are the ones who have been working in their farms. They've been helping them to make money. They've been helping their business to grow. You should know that more than 70% of the farm workers are immigrants, and most of them are illegal immigrants from many different countries, from African countries, Asian countries, Latin America, and they've been contributing to the American economy. So these farmers, especially those ones from Nebraska, they voted for the man who is going to deport those immigrants. And those immigrants say, so we're gonna stop going to work in those farms because we're seeing that our bosses don't want us to be here. So they stopped showing up at work. The crops in the farms were not able to be harvested because the people who used to harvest them were not showing up at work. And now the prices of groceries started skyrocketing as crops are not being harvested. Groceries at the supermarkets are not available, hence the prices of groceries have risen. Some of those migrants decided to move to other cities where they will not easily be raided by ICE. Some others decided to go back into their countries. Now these farmers are finding out, they're regretting because they didn't know that they will be affected to this point by the deportation of those immigrants. Another thing that also happened is that most of those farmers were being supported by the government. They had government subsidies that were supporting them to run their farming businesses. Now, after voting for the orange man, he said, no, we're gonna stop funding these farmers. We're gonna stop giving them this money. Now, these farmers were surprised because most of them could not make profit without getting the subsidies from the government. Now, they're saying that the man is disappointing them, he is betraying them because they thought that he will come up with policies that will help them to grow their businesses, but instead now they're seeing the opposite. They're losing money, they're losing workers, their businesses are collapsing to the point that Nebraska is going to be bankrupt in the next few months. So this is what I always tell you guys, fucking around is not always good. We also have to find out after fucking around, and this is what happened to those farmers from Nebraska, from those states in the US that do farming. Now, after being hit by the reality, those farmers came on social medias asking whether people do care about Nebraska or their businesses. But the truth is, if they don't care about themselves to the point that they voted for the man who is against their own interest, the man who is killing their businesses, who else care about them? Who can care about them? So who can care about if you don't care about yourself? And this is what I always tell people, guys. Whenever you after around, you will finally find out. These farmers thought that the policies they're voting for will affect other people, will affect migrants, will affect those minorities, without knowing that some of those policies are going to affect them. Now they're finding out the consequences of their actions. Maybe some of these farmers may come up with an excuse that they didn't know what was going to be done by the new administration that they have voted for. But the truth is, everything was out and it was known by everybody. It was written, many articles have written what was going to be done by Trump administration. It was written, Project 2025, many people have made a bunch of videos talking about that. I don't understand how these farmers may come up with this RB that they didn't know what was going to be done by this Trump administration. Maybe they knew what was going to be done by Trump administration, but they thought it won't affect them. It would affect other people, those minorities, those illegal immigrants, those people, but accept them. But now it's very good because they're going to be affected by the same policies that they have voted for. So let's hope that this is going to teach them a lesson so that next time they won't do the same mistake again. They won't vote for the person who is against their own interests. We're still having a lot to see in the coming 4 years. Maybe we come up even with more other terrible policies that we're not expecting. But at least these farmers are gonna learn a lesson. so that maybe the next mandate, in the next election, they want to vote for the man who is against their own interest. So guys, after watching this video, what do you think? Do you think that those farmers, those MAGA voters, those who own farms in Nebraska and other states in the US, do you think that they're gonna change? Do you think that next time they won't vote for the person who is like Donald Trump? Or they still the same? Let me know your own opinions down there in the comment section. And please, if you have not yet subscribed, make sure you smash on that subscribe button. And those viewers who have not yet liked the video, make sure you give it a like so that it will get to more other viewers. That's it for today. See you in the next one. Ciao.